What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I wanted to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's going on with the overall market, what you should be watching for as time progresses, what's going on with the news affecting the markets, and what you should be watching for based off these levels. But before I break anything down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. This offer ends in just 8 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the markets. So, when it comes to the market right now, you can see SPY is down 0.16%, Tesla is down 0.32%, showing more weakness. The market is still kind of red in the pre-market, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have to tank immediately. Here's my view of the markets. I believe that Tesla, SPY, and all these tickers are going to sell off soon. But before they sell off, there could be one more pump or even like some sideways price action coming. I think the market might chop around a bit first, possibly get a pump depending on what Jerome Powell says tomorrow. And then it's going to be in a topping process nonetheless. I think that the selling will come later on, but before it happens, we're going to be watching to see how these economic events affect the markets. So for today, we don't really have that much data. We have Barr, Jeffrey, Waller, Williams, and Logan all giving speeches from the Fed. And then at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, we have the economic optimism report coming out. And then we have total household debt coming out around noon. So we're going to be watching to see how this affects the markets. 11 o'clock a.m. and 12 o'clock p.m. For earnings that just came out, we have Uber that did okay, kind of mixed earnings. A couple of others have come out, but nothing else is too crazy. And that's it for the earnings calendar for now. We have Rivian coming out after the market closes, and the market is still looking quite flat. So for now, I just want to focus on the technicals, how are technicals looking right now. Now, we're in this channel right now on SPY. We'll see if this holds or not, if we end up collapsing below. So on SPY, once this thing breaks 433, that's when you could officially turn a lot more bearish. That's when I think SPY is going to start sinking towards this gap fill at 430.8. But watch 433 as key support. If we try to break to the upside, we technically have kind of like a flag that could be forming, but just to be safe, we're going to be watching to see how we react to like all these different levels. Watch resistance around 435.75 and also 436.25 in that range. If we get above 436.25, watch 437 and 438 as key resistance. Now, in my opinion, there are two main possibilities. Possibility number one is we kind of remain range bound and eventually the market sells off later on. From here, we could see a sell-off from here coming soon over the next couple of days, or we could break a little higher thanks to Jerome Powell's speech tomorrow, which is going to be on Wednesday. We break a little higher, and we eventually kind of chop around these higher levels. First, we get like a kiss of 438 to 437. We just trade sideways, and we break down later on. It's got to be one of those two. For confirmation of a break to the downside, you want to see if SPY breaks 433. If we lose it now, that means this thing is going to sell off. If we continue to hold above it, there's still hope it gets one last pop and it continues to just range trade before we get the sell-off. So watch these levels, watch these ranges, and I think the same thing applies for the rest of the market. There's going to be some kind of sell-off coming. We'll see how this ends up perpetuating. On Nvda, we have this tight resistance around this 460 area. If we break this, you're going to be watching this thing try to get up to this 462.5 zone and 465 above that. And for bearish, you want to see it break below 450 and hold and close below 450. Then we're going to be watching for 448, 444, 442, and 438. What do I think Nvda is going to do? I think that we're in a topping process and might try to backtest 460 again, remain range bound between 460 and 450, go back and forth for some time. But eventually, I think it's going to break below 450 and start sinking with the markets. Just watch and see if this thing kind of like retests this area or not. Tesla, of all things, is looking more bearish. So I think that Tesla has a possible head and shoulders developing here. It's really struggling. It could be back testing 220. If it breaks this, watch 222.5 and then 225. I think it could pop a little bit more, but if it fails here, this could be a big head and shoulders forming on Tesla. We might see Tesla start sinking back down towards 215. And once we lose 215, that's when we're going to see this thing get down to 212, 210, and etc. Once we lose 212, I think it's going to come down to build a gap towards 205. So there could be a big drop coming to Tesla. Some bearish price action is very probable for it. And later on, Tesla could bounce thanks to its Cybertruck event. But for now, it's looking a bit more bearish. On Aapl, we have this, somewhat interesting uptrend right here. It's not like that strong. Apple's at tight resistance between 180 and 182. I think it's going to top here. It might come very close to 180, then reject and start sinking back down towards like 175, or it could break out towards 182 and then we see the sell off. So it is possible it pumps a little bit more before it sells off, or it just sells off from 180. We're very close either way. So I see a topping process in Apple. It could pump a little bit more depending on what Jerome Powell says tomorrow during his speech. But then I anticipate a sell off is coming anyways later on. Same thing on the QQQ. I think the same trend is developing. The QQQ is barely testing this 370 area. Watch 370, 370.5, 371, and then 372.5 as resistance levels. I think that the QQQ is in a topping process. Could pump a little bit more. If Powell pumps this, we could pump a bit more, but I think it's going to remain range bound. So between these areas, and eventually it's going to break down. Watch 368 as support, 366, 365, and then 362.5. It might remain range bound for some time, but as time goes on, we're likely going to see sellers stepping in. I think that it's going to sell off later on. It may remain range bound once again for some time. We could even get one more pump thanks to Powell, a small one, and that's going to be it. It's eventually going to start breaking down. It's just going to take some time, so get ready and do what you have to do. We're in a topping process for the markets. The market's going to get a temporary pullback soon. It's going to likely remain range bound just to start us off. There could be one more pump coming thanks to Powell, and that could be it before the market starts to sell off very, very soon. I wanted to warn you about that, guys. So take your time, be patient with the market. It's not going to sell off immediately. It could take some time, but be patient and do what you have to do, guys. And I want to just thank every single one of you so much for listening. All right, so have a great day. Remember to remain calm, cool, and collected, no matter how crazy the market may seem, and no matter how hard things may get in your lives. And then don't forget to be watching all your different supply and demand zones. Look at the trends, and do not give up no matter what on earth happens. All right, so thanks again, guys. Have a great day, and peace out.